practice is going to be focusing on an area of the body. I kind of alluded to this in my note, that we don't often pay a lot of attention to, but it can create some extra tightness in the hips and in the lower back. And we talk a lot about the hip flexors, the psoas muscle, and you know how to lengthen that and alleviate foreshortening in the psoas. Well, tonight we're going to talk about the side of the leg. So the whole area where the IT band makes its insertion point here at the crest of the hip, and then it's this nice wide band of fascia tissue that connects down, goes into the side of your knee, and then comes out and connects to the tibia bone of the lower leg. So it's this whole swath of area that is connected by this wide IT band. Now the IT band itself isn't necessarily what gets tight, because it's fascia tissue. Fascia, generally speaking, stays about the same length. There's very little give in our fascia tissue. Studies have shown that sometimes there's a tiny bit of contraction, a tiny bit of stretch, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. What does get tight, though, are the muscles that surround and interweave themselves in that fascia tissue. So when we talk about the muscles in that group, one of them that's sort of a little one that's hidden in here that we don't talk about a lot, which is the TFL, the tensor fascia latae. Tiny little, it's about 4 inches long, I guess, tiny little muscle here, but it's responsible for us being able to, it helps us walk, basically. So when we do a lot of walking, that muscle gets used a lot more. So if you're a good walker every day and you spend a lot of time doing that, you may not have the same amount of tightness, or you may sometimes overstrain that area as well. It can also create some discomfort. But the TFL works in tandem with the gluteus medius muscles, and helps us move our leg outward from side to side. So we're going to be doing a lot of interesting stretches tonight, some that we don't do very often, one that we've never done before, to really look at opening that side muscle and the side area of the leg. So I just wanted to give you a little background as to where we were going and what we're targeting this evening. Having said all of that, we're going to begin, if you would, by taking a couple of blocks, a little bit more of a restorative beginning to our practice this evening. We're going to sit down. You can either, you can sit on a blanket if you like. What I'm going to suggest is either using a bolster if you have one nearby, or you can just take a couple of blocks and pile a blanket on top. So you're welcome to grab your bolster if you want. We're coming into a caterpillar pose. When I taught this at the library this morning, we didn't have the big bolsters, so we made do with what we had. But we're just going to come into a really gentle caterpillar pose with some support over the front part of the body. So if you're using your big bolster, sorry I didn't tell you about that ahead of time, so you could have had it ready. Otherwise, you can just take your blocks and bring them over the front and start to lower your front body down, folding over the blocks and just bringing them to a place where you can bring your forehead down, wrap your arms around, and just generally start to soften the back muscles and allow everything to just gently fall forward. So try to relax your shoulders. Try to soften your upper body and just let your head feel heavy as it drops down. Release your arms. They can either wrap around the bolster or they can just flop down on the mat. Just use this time at the very beginning of the practice to drop in and establish your relationship with your breath.
Just making an observation about your breath. Just noticing that it's there. Constant reminder that energy is flowing in and out of the body. Allowing you to relax with each breath in and out. Perhaps think about your breath creating a beautiful circular pattern, drawing up from the base of your spine, leading up to the neck and around the crown of the head, and then releasing it back out to the supports below. Circle that energizing breath around your spine. Just noticing, is anything showing up for you right now? Anything talking to you in the body? Anything that you want to be particularly mindful of this evening? And if so, make a commitment to honor this beautiful body, this dedicated, beautiful body that works for you every day. Here to help offer restoration, offer calm and cleansing breath. So let your head be heavy. Let your shoulders relax a little bit more. Soften your legs. Let go of any gripping or holding. And we'll take 5 more breaths in this opening, seated forward fold. Last full breath here. Beautiful. And release. Slowly start to lift your head up. Come all the way up to a seated position with your back straight. Remove your blocks or bolster if you were using that. Loop your shoulders back, lift your heart, place your fingers down by your side, and take a nice deep breath here in seated Dandasana. Fill your lungs and release. All right. So we're going to actually roll on down as we begin our stretching process for the legs, as we talked about. So coming down to your back, keep your left leg bent, foot on the mat, and lift your right leg up. So your right foot is going to reach up toward the ceiling. You're going to bring your hands behind your right thigh. And just press through the heel, flex your foot, feel the stretch in the hamstring. Guide the leg towards your head to the extent that it feels open and appropriate to do so. Then go ahead and point your right toes and flex your foot. And point and flex. Point and flex. Keep that going little more back and forth, just loosening up the ankle, feeling the Achilles get a little stretch. And then start to circle that ankle around. Give some small circles, pretending your big toe is a laser pointer and you're making a giant circle on your ceiling. Keep connecting to your breath. And then bring your leg to stillness. Take that right foot and go ahead and cross it over the top of your left thigh. We're now going to lift the left leg up. We're going to straighten the left leg to the ceiling and create a number 4 configuration with our legs. And you're going to push your right knee toward the front of your mat. So you're going to externally rotate your right hip, pressing the knee forward at the same time that you're drawing the left leg to you. So those two opposing forces, very gentle, just suggesting that they go in those opposite directions, helping to wake up the hips, wake up your hamstrings. Nice deep breath. One more. And then bring that left foot down. One more time, lift the right leg up. So straighten it up, lift it toward the ceiling, and this time you're just with your hands behind the thigh, you're just going to guide it over to the left side of your body. So just move it a few inches, okay? Don't try to bring the foot all the way down to the floor. Just move it a little bit over the center of your body, maybe a few inches more to the left, and start to bring your awareness to the sensation that you feel emanating from the outside of the right knee all the way up the side of the leg and back into the gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius. So this is the whole area we're targeting tonight with the IT band stretching. Go super slow and just really observe what you feel here. Breathe softly. And then inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Bring the right foot down. Draw your left leg up. Straighten the leg. Press the heel up toward the ceiling. Hands are behind your left thigh. And then point your left toes and flex. Pointing and flexing, just like ballerina feet. Helping the arches of the feet get a little stimulation. Toes and tarsals are involved. Just all those little areas that we don't stretch very often. And then create some circles with the ankle. Round and round, big toe pointing the way. All right, and then just go ahead and keep that left leg up and bring your foot to stillness. For this time, we're going to take the leg across to the right. So just gently guide it across your belly as if you're trying to reach the right side of your mat. Little by little, once again, just observe those nerve endings and sensations that you feel as they come all the way up the leg, wrap around, swirl into the left hip. Experiment. Do you feel it more when you flex your foot? Maybe you feel it when you point your toe. Breathe and relax. And then bring that leg back up to center. Take the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Lift the right leg up as before. Create the number 4 configuration and push your left knee away from your head as you hold your right leg up in the air. Nice deep breath, smooth, relaxing breaths. We're going to keep that relationship with the breath all evening long. Nice deep inhale, one more. Exhale and bring your foot down. All right, uncross the legs. Go ahead and hug both knees into the chest. You can rock back and forth a little bit if you wish, and then go ahead and just rock yourself all the way up. We're going to swing the legs around and come into a wide leg position. So you might want to take your blanket. It's always a good idea to sit on the edge of a blanket if we're coming into a seated posture for any length of time. It just helps the overall positioning of the feet, of the pelvis. I was looking at my feet, so I say feet. And helps elevate the spine, brings everything into alignment. All right, so for this posture, we're coming into Upavista. We want to have the legs outstretched. We are going to have our legs active. So engage your quads, flex your feet, lift up your energy. Let's inhale, bring both hands up and overhead. Stretch and reach out of both sides of your body. Deep inhale, and then we're going to take the right hand to the top of the right leg or knee and bring the left arm over the ear as we curve it gently across and reach the fingers over to the right side. So slightly roll that left shoulder back. If it feels appropriate, you can gaze upward if that doesn't create any problems with your neck. Just feeling, sliding the hand down maybe a little further if you've got the space. If not, stay right where you are. Deep breath, opening that left lung. Ribs are opening like a fan. And then bring that over. Let's try that on the other side. Deep side stretch on the other side now. Same thing, sliding the hand down. Being careful to keep your body upright instead of letting everything fall forward. So that's why I always say roll that shoulder back just slightly and maybe gaze upward if you can. Keep your legs active. 3 full breaths here. Super slow and stretchy tonight. All right, inhale and bring it all the way up. All right, from here we're going to bring the legs around. You're going to come into tabletop position. You can bring the blanket off of the mat. We don't need it anymore at this point. So coming into tabletop, we're just actually going to come on down to our belly, letting everything lower down. Bring your hands out front, moving into Sphinx pose. Elbows are slightly ahead of your shoulders. Hands are open wide. Kind of rock back and forth on your pubic bone, making sure that your hips are equally weighted and you're not listing to one side or the other. Take a deep inhale, lift up your heart, press your shoulders back and down like your shoulder blades are trying to reach your waist. Your neck is nice and long. You're looking about 3 feet in front of your mat. So a nice long neck so that it's a beautiful extension of your upper back. Breathe deep here. Feel your heart lift and expand. Beautiful relationship with your breath this evening. Let it calm you. Let it be your best friend. All right, last breath here. Down. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Rock yourself up to tabletop, but then we're going to actually stack the knees and the hips and then let the arms come forward.
So we're coming into Anahatasana, melting heart, or some call it puppy pose. But we're going to bring the hands forward, letting the heart stretch down and reach toward the mat. So if it's available, you can bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, or you have the option to take a block and bring it under your forehead if it's too difficult to come all the way down. This is going to deeply open up underneath the shoulders, opening the armpits. It's a really good immune boosting pose because it stimulates the lymphatic tissue, breaks up anything that is stuck or stagnant. Let your heart just be heavy. Keep dropping down. Two more breaths here. All right, inhale. Start to press into your hands, lift up your head. Walk your hands back up underneath, so now they're underneath your shoulders. And let's take a nice deep cat stretch to counteract those upper back stretches. So bring your chin to your chest, let your head drop down. Back of the heart is reaching way up to the ceiling. Tailbone is curving down. Beautiful arching cat stretch. One full deep breath here. And then come back to a neutral spine. All right. So from here, we are going to come back to a seated posture. And I'm going to have you grab a block. If you have 2 blocks, have another one on hand just in case you need 2. All right, so we're going to start off. This is a pose that I haven't taught before, but it's just a variation of some things that we do all the time, but it's a new one for this practice we've never done, called heron pose. Now I'm going to show you heron pose just so you know what it is and where we would go with it if you didn't need any modification. So heron pose, I have my leg in a half hero, right? So half hero means if both were underneath, I'd be in hero's pose. I only have one leg bent underneath, the other one is extended. Essentially, from a half hero's pose, I'm lifting the extended leg. I'm wrapping my arms around that foot, and I'm drawing that leg up as high as it would go. It's going to be different for all of us. I taught this today at the library. Some folks kept their leg right down on the mat, which was perfectly fine. So we're all going to be in different positions when it comes to lifting the leg. Now, importantly, if you typically use a block when you're getting into hero's pose, then go ahead and bring that block underneath now, because that's going to definitely help. And for some of us, some people use 2 blocks. If you can get away with 1, you're going to be a little bit more stable, but if you need to, go ahead and set up on 2 blocks. And I would suggest placing them wide way, not long, but wide, just so you've got more stability when you're sitting up. Because essentially we're going to be lifting one leg off the ground, and you might get a little off balance. All right. So I'm just going to come over because I want to make sure those that I'm seeing, I've got it right. So is that okay for you, Mary Jo? Is that all right? It's kind of hard for me to see everybody. I just want to be real careful because this is one we haven't done before. If anything doesn't work for you, please come out of the pose, modify, as always. All right? So the other option here is that we have a strap nearby. So essentially it's going to be a little bit easier if we use a strap instead of trying to grab that leg all by ourselves, which is why I said to bring a strap tonight. So let's start off with the strap. So bring the strap around your foot, lift up nice and tall, inhale, and then we're just going to slowly lift the extended leg. Go a little at a time. This is a great hamstring stretch, obviously. Make sure that you're staying balanced in your seat. And just play with where you can eventually bring that leg to. Like I said, there were some that kept their leg on the floor this morning, so it could be that anywhere in this range is going to be possible and normal. All right, keep breathing. Do you feel the outside of your left leg? Do you feel the engagement of those muscles in there? You probably do. All right, let's exhale. We're going to let that leg come down and take a little breath. So let it release. Let everything soften up. Let your muscles relax. And then we're going to try it again with a little different variation. All right? So inhale, bringing that leg up for heron pose to whatever degree is available to you. And then, once you're in that place, go ahead and hold the strap with just the left hand. Take your right hand across. Oh, wait a minute. I think I just said that wrong. Sorry, back up. Hold it with just your right hand. I got backwards. Hold it with just your right hand, okay? Right hand, left hand is free. Take your left hand to your waist, and you're going to start to twist to the left, coming into a revolved heron pose, and perhaps extending your left arm out behind you. As you do this, engage your right arm and draw your leg across to the right. So it's very similar to what we did when we were laying down. And you're going to feel that in the IT band. You're going to feel it on the outside of that left hip. You just have to move it an inch or so to really feel the engagement. Keep it going. One more breath if you can. Bring everything back. Let the leg come down. Let it soften and relax. You might want to give it a couple of these little karate chops. Sometimes help the top of that quad. All right. Hopefully that felt okay. Any feedback you want to give me after practice, let me know. We're going to switch legs. This is a really good stretch targeting the tensor fasciae latae and the muscles underneath and in the IT band. All right, so we're going to straighten the right leg this time. Strap goes around the foot. Lift up. Energy rises up through the spine, and we'll lift that right leg up. And just start to guide it upward. Most of us are not going to get that foot anywhere close to our head. That's okay. I was trying to figure out how this looks like a heron. Do you think it looks like a heron? Maybe it is if he's standing on one leg, and I'm not really sure how that works. Keep breathing. All right, softly let the right leg come down. Let's just take a little break with it. Let the muscles relax. Sometimes you can get a little bit of cramping in there. If this isn't something you do all the time, you may feel a little urge to cramp up. So that's why I want to give you a break in between. All right, we're going to go for round 2. So inhale, lift that right leg up. This time you're going to grab the strap as close to the foot as you can with the left hand, holding it in place. Take your right hand to your waist. Start to turn your body to the right so that your heart is facing the right side of the mat. And as you do, gently guide your leg toward the left. Just an inch or two. Oof. A little goes a long way in this pose. So go really softly on yourself. Where's the relationship with your breath? Are you communicating? Still your friend. All right, come on back to center. Let your leg come down. Oof, let it go. All right. Yeah, I like that. I like that little karate chop. I had a teacher that taught us that, and I thought, ooh, that hits the spot, sometimes. All right, we can come off of the block now. Hope you found that interesting for something a little bit different. Let's come on back to tabletop position. We're going to move just a little bit here, and then we'll come into some other stretches. So come to tabletop position and then press yourself back to downward facing dog. Your hamstrings are pretty well stretched right now, but keep your knees as soft as you need them to be. Lift your hips high and really lengthen through your spine. So your tailbone wants to reach up as high as it can. Take a nice deep breath in, let it out. Very good. All right, from downward facing dog, we're going to tiptoe up to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold position. Let your head hang down, soften your knees here, just give your head a little break. Let everything dangle for a moment. Just let it relax. Whatever's been swirling around your world today, imagine it just dripping off your head and it's gone. You're letting it go. All right, and then slowly start to walk your hands up your body. We're going to rise all the way up, but I want you to rise slowly and carefully. Reach those arms up and overhead. Full body stretch. Deep breath at the top. Exhale, hands come by your side. Inhale, bring those arms right back up. Bring your palms together and then take a nice little crescent bend over to the left. So stretching the right side body, much as we did in our wide leg seated position. We're really stretching the right ribs. Pressing down through the outside of the right ankle. Very cognizant of the energy flowing up and down this side body. Beautiful, and then come back up to the center. Let's take that crescent over to the right. Press down and root yourself in the left ankle. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale and forward fold. All right, from this forward folded position, we're going to bring our feet a little bit closer in. Remember to use blocks if you need them in forward folding. Use them whenever you want to. I don't always cue for it, but you know that they're there. So bring your feet very close together. And then we're going to cross our feet. So we're going to take the right foot and we're just going to inch it over and cross it over the left. So my ankles are now crossed. And I'm folding once again with these crossed feet. And you will once again feel that same sensation now coming up through the side of the leg, probably most acutely on the left side. Hopefully it's not painful, but it should feel like we're stretching all of that tissue in and around the IT band. Keep your breathing soft and regular. All is well when you can notice and observe your breath. All right, and then slowly bring the right foot across. Come back to a normal standing forward fold position. Let's walk our hands up the body. Let's lift up so we're not upside down for too terribly long at a time. Let's take a nice refreshing breath on the top side. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, draw the arms right back up. And exhale one more time, forward fold.
crossing our feet the other way this time. We're going to take the left foot and cross it over the right, so we're standing with crossed ankles once again. And then just let yourself fold forward. This works just fine whether you're using blocks or hands all the way down. And you should notice a very deep sensation happening on the right hip now. Breathe and relax and release. We're allowing those muscles, we're allowing the gluteus medius and the tensor fasciae latae to get time to stretch, to lengthen. When they lengthen, they create space. They get thinner and they create space. So this is good for the body. All right, take a breath in, uncross your feet, come back to a normal standing position. Lift all the way up. Once again, let's take one more full stretch on the top side. Reach your arms up and overhead. Deep breath, open your lungs, and exhale, forward fold. All right, bring your legs back, downward facing dog. Nice deep downward dog, full body stretch here, nice breath. Exhale and release, hips are rising high. And then we're going to come down to hands and knees. We're going to slide the right foot forward in between our hands as we prepare for a lunge position. So bring that right foot in between the hands, lift the left knee up, come into low runner's lunge. Lengthen that back leg as much as you can. So we want to have a nice long, low back leg. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. Make sure that your psoas is getting a good stretch. And then from here, we're just going to gently guide the left knee all the way down. Now we got a nice long stretch on that left side. We're going to lift up, taking a low crescent. Arms reach up. Your choice if you want to take a little back bend or just reach hands up to the ceiling. And then we're going to take our right arm to the top of the right thigh. Again, this is a new variation we've never done before. So from this low crescent Anjaneyasana, right forearm on top of the right thigh. Left arm is going to come up. We're going to twist our body and look to the left. So we're going to move our heart to the left and then tap our shoulders with our left fingers. So my left hand is reaching back, opening up under the armpit. And you're going to feel that stretch now, feeling it again, focusing on the left hip. Keep breathing. Lift the arm up. Take the hands down to the mat. Lift the left knee up. Slide the right foot back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, bring your toes together to touch. We're going to walk up the tightrope to the front of the mat, starting with the left foot. So bringing your left foot in front of your right. My left heel is kissing my right toes. And then slowly my right foot in front of the left, straightening my legs as much as I can and pushing into the right hip. Left foot in front of right, straightening the left leg now as much as I can and stretching into that left hip, just pushing the hip up ever so slightly. Right foot in front of left. Left foot forward, right foot forward. Now we're in a forward fold. Inhale, rise to the top, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down by the side. We're going to step back with the left foot, come into Warrior One position.
So warrior one position, hips are forward, heel to heel alignment. Lift your arms as you're ready. Take a nice strong warrior pose. Legs are strong here now. Sink down into your shoulders. Let them drop down. One more breath, strengthening those muscles as well as stretching tonight. And then we'll bring our hands to our waist. Straighten the right leg as we prepare for pyramid pose. So moving from warrior to pyramid, heart is reaching forward with a flat back. We come forward into pyramid. Reaching for your blocks for support whenever you like. You can keep your hands at your waist, or you can get those blocks. Hold yourself steady in a supported fashion. Either way, you want to push your right hip back and bring that left hip forward. Nice deep breath here. One more. And then on the next breath in, bend your right knee. We're going to lift right back up into warrior one position. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. And let's take a nice reset in child's pose. So just let everything melt down. 3 full breaths in child's pose. Back up to hands and knees. We're going to move through that sequence on the other side. So lift your knees up, press back to downward facing dog. Hips rising high. Bring your toes together to touch. Oh wait, I almost forgot. From downward facing dog, I got ahead of myself. So from downward facing dog, come back down to hands and knees. We have to do our lunge first. Left leg comes forward between the hands. Right knee pops up so that we come into low runner's lunge. Lengthen through your spine, head reaching forward. How's your breath? Are you still connected? And then with a nice long right leg, we're going to lower the right knee ever so slowly. Drop that down. I have a beautiful long extension now in the right psoas. I'm going to lift up for low crescent. Arms reach up. Maybe open up to a little back bend if you wish. And then come back up. Left arm is going to come to the top of my left thigh. I'm going to twist my body to the right, or my torso is going to twist to the right, and I'm going to take my right fingers and touch my shoulders. This is going to open up a stretch all the way down, reaching into that right hip. 2 more breaths here. Bring the right arm back around. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the right knee up. Go ahead and come in now. We come back to downward facing dog. All right, from downward facing dog, bring your toes together to touch. We walked across the tightrope one way. Now we got to go back the other direction. So this time we're going to bring the right foot in front of the left to begin. So my right heel is just tickling my left toes. Push up into that right hip. Really slow walking. Left foot in front of right. Straightening the left leg as much as you can and pressing up into the hip. Right foot in front of left. I imagine real tightrope walkers don't want to Don't want to have to walk this slow. Left foot in front of right. And right foot forward, left foot beside it. Fold, forward fold. Inhale, let's rise to the top. Stretch the body out. Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. And exhale, hands by the side. Stepping back with the right foot this time. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Hips facing forward, arms reach up. Relax those shoulders down. Feel those nice strong legs. Stay here for a couple of more full breaths. Pressing to the outside of your right ankle. Really root down through that right leg. Your strength is coming from that leg. And then moving toward Parsvottanasana or pyramid, straighten the left leg. Hands come to your waist. Start to hinge forward with a flat back. As your chest comes down, the crown of your head is reaching forward off the front of your mat. And then you're going to shift your left hip back and draw that right hip forward. Sometimes it feels like you're already there until you try that little shift and you realize, no, I really was a little bit off balance. One more breath. Use your blocks if you want to have your hands down. That's fine. Beautiful. Inhale, slowly rise back up. Bend the left knee. One more beautiful Virabhadrasana. And then exhale. Hands come all the way down. Take one more downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, release. All right, come all the way down, hands and knees, and then swing around to a seated posture. So I would be surprised if you don't feel a little bit of emphasis. Can you tell what we targeted tonight? Is it a little warm? Is it a little tingly? Hopefully in a good way. All right, so we're going to come into a little seated twist here. Go ahead and we're going to start with I'll mirror you. Take the right foot to your left knee and bring your left foot across. So they don't necessarily have to stack. You're just bringing your left foot across. You're sitting down in between your feet. Take your right arm across the body. Bring it to the outside of the leg. Left arm comes behind, and then start to twist your navel, twist your heart around to the right side. As you come into full rotation of the torso, you can begin to shift the shoulders. And finally, if you wish, you can turn your neck and look over your right shoulder. If your neck isn't happy doing that, then just don't even worry about it. Leave your head wherever you like. The neck can also be independent of these twists. Keep breathing, keep calming yourself through breath. Whether you know it or not, your brain reacts to your observance of the breath. Your brain knows that when you are cognizant of breath, that you are calm, that you're safe, everything is okay. Beautiful. So you can tell we're really still getting that nice stretch on the same area, except we're moving it in a little different direction here with this twist. All right, come on back to center. And let's just switch everything around the other way. Left foot comes to right hip, right leg crosses over. Lift up, lengthen through that spine. Left arm comes across, right arm comes behind. Shift your belly. Think about your navel being on a turntable. It needs to turn first, and then it spirals up to your heart. And then once those have come into full rotation, you can shift your shoulders and neck a little bit more. Breathe and relax. All right. One more breath here. Slowly turn back to center. Unwind those legs. And guess what? We get to lay all the way down now. All right, for our final posture. Oh, it's already 6:55. Goodness. I really wanted us to do this one, so we're going to do it anyway. We might go 5 minutes later, if that's okay. So laying on your back, open your arms up, bring them overhead. We're going to come into Banana Asana because it's a beautiful side stretch and it really will help everything release that we've just been working on. So let's begin with the feet. We want to bring both ankles over to the right side corner of your mat. So just shift and slide your ankle, both of your feet together to the right side. And then we're going to scoot the shoulders to the right side. You're going to leave your hips planted right in the center of the mat. So your body's facing up. You're not rolling whatsoever. And then if you like, you can cross your ankles. Maybe the right ankle over the left. Just kind of helps to ground it down. Keep it anchored. If this is too intense on your shoulders, you can bring your shoulders or bring your arms out to a V instead of parallel. But once you're in your banana shape, begin to draw your breath all the way up the left side of your body. Just think about your breath rolling up and down the left side, starting with the left ankle, traveling up and swirling around the knee, up into the hip, offering nourishment to all of those really intense areas that we stretched tonight. Beautiful, calm breath rolling up and down. Slide your shoulders back to the center of your mat. And cross your ankles and slide them back to center, and then
Let them come on over to the left corner of your mat. So take them all the way over to the corner. And then your shoulders can follow too. Just scooch them over. And if you like, you can cross your left ankle over your right, just anchoring that leg down. Now bringing your awareness to the right side body, just as before. Visualize the beautiful cleansing puffs of breath floating up and down the right side of your body. Nourishing and releasing and calming. Just what you need. Cross your ankles, slide your feet back to center. Scoot your shoulders back to the center of your mat. Bring your arms down. Just let them rest by your side. If you have a bolster or blanket, or you want to do anything to accessorize or accentuate your Shavasana, then always feel free to do so. Just let everything neutralize. Let your body soften and relax. In our Shavasana this evening, I'd like to leave you with a poem called My True North. When I have lost my way and flounder adrift in life's sea, I keep a lookout for the light of home that will guide me to the harbor of your peace. For too long I have been gone from the comfort you bring, these moments of quiet solace, like an early morning spring, filled with the sweet words that you so generously give. You have become a beacon of hope for better days, and the wish that one day I will be able to say thank you for being my friend during the darkest of moments in this place. My true north, you beckon me home, so keep a weather eye on the horizon and a candle in the window. Let it shine so I can find my way out of the endless night. Feel free to remain exactly where you are. Or if you'd like to conclude practice and join in a seated posture, you can bend your knees and hug your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in. Offer yourself a beautiful hug of gratitude for taking this time. And as you're ready, go ahead and roll up. Beautiful. And together, let's lift our arms up to the true north of our spirit, the light and the universe that guides us, and the divine energy within. Draw that light down to the heart center, bowing in Anjali Mudra. The light in me is so honored and grateful for the light within you all. Thank you so much for the time and your dedication and your company in practice. Om Shanti and Namaste.